So this video is about the passive income myth, or the myth around the passive income. Now, I always say that the best form of passive income is being born with rich parents. But other than that, pretty much all forms of passive income require some amount of work or trade-off. And I know that passive income these last few years has been portrayed as the maybe the ultimate goal for achieving financial freedom. And I know YouTube says it a lot, definitely in the last few years. And I know that the appeal is really hard to resist and it's undeniable. Who wouldn't want to not have to work, like in Wall-E, where you just have a bunch of robots working for you while you lie around getting fat? Now, if you can earn money without lifting a finger, I'm just saying, who wouldn't be up for that? But on YouTube, you'll see so many videos, in fact, tons of videos, maybe advertisements, and gurus pushing the narrative that rich people are rich and relying on their tons of streams of income, and that they can teach you how to do it too if you watch them or if you give them a little bit of your hard earned cash. But the way that is advertised is largely not reality. There are no get rich quick schemes for most of us, since I assume you're like me and was not born to mega rich parents. In any case, to clarify, there are ways to make money that don't require working a typical 9 to 5 job, but these methods involve varying levels of effort and risk. The promise of effortless wealth that's plastered all over YouTube and social media is often pushed in a misleading way, leading people to be more likely to lose money in the process rather than gain it. Because if those people knew how to become rich from whatever dream they were selling you, from whatever they were selling you, they probably wouldn't be telling you about it because it'd be a secret for them. And instead, they would most likely just be quieting and passively incoming their way to riches. So let's actually dig a little bit deeper and first start with defining what passive income actually is. Passive income, simply put, is regular cash flow that doesn't require much time or effort to maintain, where you don't have to actively work for it. And the main types of passive income, which include passive income from a business, maybe rental properties, dividends, stocks, or royalties from books, or just royalties in general. So, passive income is a real thing. All those things I mentioned are real things. But again, it's not the easiest thing, and you won't be rich tomorrow. In fact, it comes with varying degrees of work and risk depending on how much you're trying to make, and depending what your current skill set or education is. Now, passive income requires some active effort. So let's actually go over a few examples of this. You can work on building a stock portfolio. Now, unless your approach is just to gamble on stocks, a proper investment strategy requires specialized and deep knowledge about economics, the stock market, the individual companies, or the funds that you decide to invest in. So usually it takes some active effort to figure this all out. It also takes strategic thinking, critical thinking, analytical skills, research skills, and any knowledge that you've accumulated and more knowledge that you might need. It also requires upfront capital to invest into the stock market, something that also requires a lot of active effort to have built up. Now, aside from that, let's also do another example. Let's say property rental. Similarly, first of all, you need a substantial amount of cash up front just to be able to purchase the rental property. And let's say once you have purchased one, you need a good deal of investment of time in learning the local laws of where you're renting and how they affect you. Some places are more tenant friendly, they have more tenant friendly laws, and some places are more landlord friendly. You need to understand proper maintenance on a home because failure to maintain the home can actually get you in real hot water. And some maintenance items are actually more important than others. For example, if there's a leak in your roof, it's a lot worse than, let's say, if you had a small scratch on your floor. You also need to understand relationship management with your tenants and basically a ton of other things. And once you know all these things, you'll still have to maintain an ongoing landlord/tenant relationship throughout the tenancy. Hypothetically, if something goes wrong, you can potentially be subject to some pretty big lawsuits from your tenant and have fines or penalties from your city government. So these are a few examples of what passive income actually is, and it's usually a good deal of work. Though the caveat is that eventually you maybe you'll get to the point where it's low effort and easy to maintain after a lot of upfront effort and commitment in learning and in setting things up. Now let's talk about maintenance and market adaptation. Another thing to keep in mind is that your passive income streams may be subject to market changes or changes in trends. Some things that could no longer be in demand or are now highly saturated. Take YouTube, for example. Once it was a small platform and creators with a ton of grainy videos and amateur production skills dominated YouTube. But once the platform was better established and people smelled the money, you see actual companies move in with high production quality, which basically became a norm for anyone who wanted to become competitive on YouTube in order to make a living wage. So competition is actually significantly fiercer now, and the platform is much more saturated and competitive. And YouTube is also a good example of trend changes. For example, I remember there were a ton of videos on making slime or fidget spinners, or how long ago the reigning king of YouTube was Ryan Higa, who mostly made funny skits. And now the top person is Mr. Beast, who was actually embroiled in a ton of controversy, but that's probably for another video or your own research. And from my knowledge, mostly does game show like content nowadays, or extreme game show content. Now, why does the passive income myth persist? If passive income is actually a fair amount of hard work, why do so many people who want the get rich quick dream still chase after it? It's because of the way it's packaged and how it's presented to you, and sold to the masses who want a get rich quick scheme. When the reality of it is that it's actually a fair amount of work, effort, and luck. Like I said at the beginning of this video, if those selling you the dream for $9.99 or whatever the amount is were experts at making money with their chosen method that they're saying that they can teach you, they'd be using that method to make themselves rich instead of teaching you the secrets of how to do it. Because think about it, why would they want another competitor against them? But instead, the way that they become rich now is by selling you courses and by selling you the idea that they can teach you to become rich. And by no means I'm saying all courses or all course-like things such as books or structured education is useless, because there's many legitimate ones out there, either written by experts or people who have some superior organization skills or superior knowledge, can actually help you save time by highlighting exactly the things you need to know fast. But because so many people want this dream, there's also a lot of con artists, snake oil salesmen, or fake gurus that have flooded this space. So as a conclusion, passive income is actually a real thing, but it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. You're going to have to put in some work, some effort, and actually maybe put in a lot of time learning about the thing that you're pursuing. And there's also an element of luck, because risk takes a factor in this. But if passive income, and I quote passive income, is sold to you as the get-rich-quick scheme, definitely you should probably do your own research, but I'd suggest off the bat don't buy into it. Passive income, again, is real. It's even recognized by the IRS, but to establish it takes some specialized knowledge and active hard work, and usually monetary investments. So that's about all I have to say for this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button, subscribe, and thank you for watching.